Welcome back, everyone. Sorry we missed the last week, but we're here now. In the interim period, you may have learned that Wizards of the Coast is actually copying us now, and they released their own Bilgewater adventure. They say imitation is the finest form of flattery, and so we thank you, Wizards, and to everyone who came to the channel because of that. Welcome. Cool. So, would someone like to read the session 1 notes for us to get kind of reorient us into this new session? Alex.
I was gonna say I can do it. I volunteer. Okay.
I was called. Oh, you go ahead. Okay.
Oh no.
I just want to. Do it, Tempest. You got it.
All right.
Lieutenant Villeneuve, one of the underling of General Grange during the first Ionian invasion. General Grange is the boss of the next Ionian invasion. Villeneuve is now boss of stuff in Bilgewater. Explosion that happened in Villeneuve's speech, and the red-headed orphan caused that blast. We went to the glowing lady, the innkeeper whose name is Obar, and Berger, his wife, that was in Rattown. The Reaver King Gangplank was in charge of all the gangs in the city and was recently taken down by Captain Fortune, who hates him for things happened in the past. Gangplank has been dethroned, and Gangplank is now with the Noxians. This gave the Noxians time to come and establish a rule in Bilgewater. Noxians trying to hire members for an Ionian invasion. Noxians have been in Bilgewater for a few months now.
Yep. And just for a little more context, so Gangplank recently dethroned by Captain Fortune, and her Soldiers of Fortune, as her gang is called, has joined up with the Noxians, who are basically planning a second Ionian invasion, the first one having been barely repelled. During the original invasion was when the Noxians hired a mercenary fleet out of Bilgewater to supplement their own fleet. This is where Buxton has a little bit of a crossover in that his ship mutinied because his captain did not want to join the Noxians and the rest of the crew did. This is also where Kaori has some crossover because she is from Ionia and her temple was attacked, her master killed, and some of their sutras and their artifacts taken. And so this is the second go around. Lieutenant Villeneuve was actually much lower then, so this time around Grange, who was just lieutenant at the time, is leading the second invasion, and that's kind of where we are. So let's get started. Having found a brief respite and some important information at the Glowing Lady, you and your newfound companions set off into the Bilgewater night. Rumor has it that a bounty has been placed on the heads of those thought responsible for the attack at Lieutenant Villeneuve's speech. Your heads. News travels fast in the City of Fortune, and you aren't quite sure what's going on. You're on your way to the lower levels of Rattown, where your next clues lie. A posting on the bounty board with your likenesses, and a red-headed orphan known to live in the old warehouse district. So as you're heading down to these lower levels, in maybe you haven't quite decided where you're headed to first, how are you interacting? What are you doing? Is anyone talking, singing loudly, and that sort of thing? What is going on? What's the general vibe?
I feel like Kaori is really focused because since we were last talking about going to get those wanted posters either manipulated or pull them down, she really wants to make sure that that gets removed very quickly. She doesn't know if there's any possibility that the now general and lieutenant would remember her face or not from when they attacked her village, so she doesn't want to tip them off.
I think Buxton would be looking at Deshawn and Kiori and kind of thinking like, how do they look normal here? Is just what I'm trying to discern. Like, how out of place are they looking? Would an average, Bilgewater resident be able to like peg them as somebody who's from out of town?
Yeah, Kaori and Deshawn, maybe you can speak to that.
Deshawn's clothes are kind of like leather, brown leather. So I feel like her clothing is pretty subtle, but she does have quite long pink and yellow chameleon tail. So I don't really know if that's something that Bilgewater would have for Deshaun. And the Poro, yeah.
You might be a little bit out of place.
And then for Kaori, she has her cloak on, so I could potentially blend in, but also, even though Ionia is not the other side of the world, it is across the water. So I don't know how many Ionians are present in Bilgewater area, so I might stand out in that sense.
In Buxton, being in Bilgewater, there are a lot of travelers, but definitely if someone was looking specifically for a chameleon woman and an Ionian, these two might stick out to them a little bit.
Okay. Then what I'm gonna try and do then is like, it's like, come over here, Kiori, Deshaun. I've got a couple little things here that I think can help you blend in just a little bit. And I pull out my disguise kit. And I assume we're still at the table.
Yeah. So we'll say you're getting ready to go out into the night, and so you would have prepared this beforehand.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So we would have prepared beforehand, and I probably would have asked anybody in the glowing lady to kind of go if there's like a private area to do this. But basically, I'd pull out my disguise kit, and I'm just scrolling to see what I have here, because it's, I just want to see exactly what I got here, what I can help you out with. Cool. So inside the disguise kit, we have
Fake mustache?
Cosmetics, hair dye, small props, and a few pieces of clothing. Cool. All right. I'm like, so I've got some hair dye here. We could go a nice muted brown. It might blend in a little bit better. People got a lot of dirt in their hairs, and I know Deshaun, that your hair's a little bright. It might help you blend in a little bit more if you'd like. And ooh, look what I have here. And then I pull out like some cosmetics. I guess like some like blush or something. And I'm like, we could Kaori, if you want to take some. And then I'm just like I imagine I'm just like reaching into my disguise kit and just like handing out different pieces of gear. And like I find like a little eye patch. This might work here, and I just hand it to somebody, and just trying to give them all manners of disguise and props to at least make them a little bit less obvious. And then I kind of turn to Melbourne, and I like scratch my beard. I'm like, how do you think we're gonna disguise you?
I don't need a disguise, Captain.
All right. Well, I mean, the confidence, I like it. And then I guess what I'll do then is, and I take my hat off, and I gingerly kind of like put a bandana on instead. And I'm like, this will have to do for now.
Nice. Kaori would pull out some of her resources as well. She has what she calls like a performance kit, or like a performance set of clothes and makeup, because she has like her dancing set that she would do with the scarves, which is where she learned the technique for the dancing blades. So she uses the bit of rouge that you gave her and then starts doing a little more to try to imitate some of the faces that she saw. So it's kind of a mix of being a little bit like Lady of the Night, but also proper at the same time. So it's kind of like this weird amalgamation where it's
so you look like a classy
lot
hooker.
of eyeliner, but yeah, like classy hooker. So like a lot of eyeliner, a lot of color, but it all is like very exact and very streamlined how it's like put on.
Great. And
Deshaun takes the eye patch and puts it on, and she says, "I think I'm done."
Beautiful. Alex, does using the disguise kit typically do you make a roll to see the effectiveness there? Would be my assumption.
Yeah, and it's up to you. So I mean, you can have me do like deception or intimidation or whatever you want me to do, or I guess persuasion. It could be or basically I would use the proficiency bonus and then use whatever attribute or ability score that would associate with it.
Yeah, my assumption would be it would be something intelligence based.
Okay. Cool. So it'd be like all right.
Unless you can make a good argument for charisma, I guess charisma goes beyond. You know what people like, so.
Yeah, I would think it'd be deception personally, but I can see maybe
Yeah,
like a history kind of
No,
vibe
no,
too.
no. Deception works for me.
All
I
right,
think
cool.
this guy's kid has charisma.
All right, let me.
Doesn't come up often.
All right, let me click on it. I'm just figuring out how to use it. Sorry, guys. All right,
No
there we
worries.
go. Boom.
There we
Solid
go,
roll.
12. Decent, above average.
All right.
I can
Um,
carry the
sh-
4-0 and we'll blend right in.
Oh, the Poro will be your disguise. Perfect.
I hand Thorn back. Melbourne has some lovely large hands that he can hold you in, and I hand Thorn back to Melbourne. I feel
Great.
Deshawn would be actually quite excited for all this commotion because she's pretty used to just being in the library in her island, and her parents are farmers. So
Sure. Just
this is very excited. She's very excited, and she would just kind of say to the group, "There's nothing more I like than a good mystery."
I think
As
we
long
should
as-
get on then.
All right. Let's head out then, and try to follow my lead.
everyone follows Buxton. And Buxton, where are you going?
All right, guys. Where to first?
And so just as a reminder, obviously you know that you've been posted on the bounty board. You expressed some interest in perhaps checking that out. You do have the lead related to potentially the orphan that you're thinking of, the one that works for Captain Fortune. And Deshawn also has the personal goal related to the Temple of the Mother Serpent, which is also on the island.
Well, we have to find the orphan.
All right. Then we head to the orphan first. Then maybe on the way back we try to get a look-see at them posters.
Makes sense.
So, Rat
And-
Town.
And so you would have been told, Buxton, by the taverners that she hangs out in the old warehouse district, and they told you a specific street corner, the corner of Rat and Filth, or something to that effect. Corner of Anchor and Seaway. Is that what it was? Did we come up with that?
That's
Okay.
what I wrote down. Yep.
Nice. You take better notes than I do.
Perfect. That's there's a diner on that corner. It's they serve some really good those shark rats that we fought before. It's a delicacy. They're eggs.
Grilled wharf rat. Yeah. Beautiful. So you are heading off to the diner. Obviously, the streets of Rat Town are a little bit of a rough, dirty, dank place. You're going to the lower echelons of the city, and there's kind of homeless here and roustabouts here and there. Drunken sailors walking down the streets, but no one seems to really pay you much mind. As you're heading in this direction, people kind of tend to keep to themselves, unless they're bounty hunters. But other than that, you make it there with no trouble. And you get to the corner of Anchor and Seaway here, in the old warehouse district. And let me pull this up on my other screen as well.
And if I remember correctly, it's like dark, right? Like
Yeah, so you have gotten it's light enough that you can see, but it's nighttime, if that makes sense.
okay, I'm gonna adopt like a drunken shamble kind of gait as we walk through the roads, just to try and mimic the other folks that might be out and about at this time of night.
Absolutely. And so you make it to this corner, and this is definitely one of the more rundown areas. There were warehouses here that were at one point actually utilized for trade, commerce, and that sort of thing, but have since kind of fallen into disrepair. And there's not really a whole lot of people out in this area. It tends to be squatters mostly where you are, people just kind of living in these rundown buildings. But you do see ahead of you there is an older man kind of drunkenly just kind of sitting here against the wall. And yeah, that's all that you kind of see of note
I'll whisper to the group. Now, if I remember correctly, Olbar said that she has a hat and a funny backpack with short red cropped hair. So that's what we're looking for.
That sounds like her.
I'll keep my eyes out. Perhaps one of us should ask this fella up ahead if he's seen such a thing, such a person.
Sure, let's move forward.
Sure, absolutely. Feel free to move yourself relatively freely, for the most part.
Okay. Is Buxton still leading us as we're heading down the street, or is it kind of just like whoever wants to go talk to the guy?
Yeah, I'll walk up and talk to the guy. Is he asleep?
He's kind of like sitting there. He's got like a jug by, like a moonshine jug by his hip, just kind of like looking around. As you're walking up, he kind of gives you one of these. Like he's not quite sure what he's seeing.
Good evening, sir. Have you seen a red-headed orphan?
What are you?
And I'll like lift the poro like closer so you can like see it better.
Oh, that looks like a tasty treat. And he starts like reaching out.
I won't move. I'll let him pet it or whatever. But well, we're just looking for this little girl. She's red hair and a backpack. Have you seen her?
Little girl, eh? And he like adopts like more of a judging tone. He's like, what do you want with a little girl?
I have questions for her.
Questions. Seems like you've got questions for me. And he takes like a swig from his jug.
See, this is her pet, and we were hoping we could return it. At least I think it's hers. And I'll start like stroking the poro.
You could leave the wee little beastie with me, and I'll give it to her. Yeah, I'll give it to her.
Can I see if he's like lying
and? Make an insight roll. Yeah, anyone can make an insight roll.
Just to make sure. I'm pretty sure he's bullshitting, but I just want to.
You believe every word that comes out of this man's mouth. You're in the big city now. Everyone's cool.
Oh, I don't know the big city either.
Yeah, you're also from a small town.
Buxton's gonna like kind of like sidle in between, Melbourne's legs here, and I'm gonna say, "Say there, old timer, what you be swigging there out of that jug?"
Oh, this is me moonshine. I make it myself. It's my pappy's recipe.
Oh, do you mind if I have a wee taste? I always heard that homebrew it's picking up here in Bilgewater.
Not just that, Pappy's brew is the best brew. And he like drunkenly shoves it towards you.
All right.
Take a big gulp there, little one.
All right. Glug glug glug.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Oh man.
You got this.
All right. It burns like a motherfucker. Like this is like some of the most just ethanol-y, like just in your face alcohol burn you've ever had. But you stomach it.
I say, whew, that'll keep you warm on a cold night. Well, what do I call you, old timer?
Well, my pappy called me Jeb.
All right, Jeb, that's a good name. How about we make you a deal? You tell us what you know about this red-haired girl, and we'll buy, 2 more of these Pappy's brews from you, or, we'll enjoy a couple more with you. You pick.
Well, you are interrupting my peaceful drinking, but how about this? You grease my palm and I'll tell you where the girl is. He just holds out his hand.
A can of grease.
Alex might not understand the that's the money thing, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He looks at Melbourne pulling out a can of grease and like, what the tarnation is that?
I try and like put it on his hand, get a little out.
No, you've got me all wrong, mister.
Melbourne, I think he wants, a little bit of charity from us. Just a little bit of just goodwill amongst friends. And I take out a silver piece, and I kind of flip it up, doing, catch it, and I plop it in his hand.
Oh yeah, I've seen a red-headed orphan around here time to time. I think my memory's starting to come back to me. And he takes a swig of his moonshine. Yeah, I think I've seen her, and he's kind of rubbing the silver next to his ear. Yeah, I'm starting to get it now. Maybe a little
I take out
help.
another silver. And I give him it.
Yeah, okay. She stays in this big old warehouse right over there behind me. I heard some awful ruckus in the basement the other day, but I don't go in there.
Can you tell us more about this ruckus? Is it, does it sound like... Well, just what kind of ruckus, per se?
Oh,
Shouts, screams...
Yeah, all kind of shouting and scrambling about. I don't know. I don't get in that business. I heard that she's in league with that Captain Fortune. Those ambitious types always making trouble in our city.
Yeah. Fortune's not favoring you and me, is it?
You can say that again.
Fortune's not favoring... No, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I see. Well, thank you, Jeb. I think, we might enjoy some Pappy's brew on our way out.
Well, thank you very much. And he just kind of settles back in and starts. He just like puts his head back and starts humming. He puts the silver pieces in his boot.
Yeah, I guess I just turn to the rest of the group and I say, all right, this sounds like she's in that warehouse back there. Should we make our way inside, or should we approach in a different manner? As a smuggler, I always try to have, a couple different strategies.
Yeah, and you would see that there's a big double door right here that's closed off.
Sorry, where were the doors?
Right here. It's a little hard to tell on the maps, but there's a big double door here. There's some windows over here that you could probably climb up on the boxes and look into if you wanted to. And there's another door down here, actually.
Can we walk through this hallway or this alleyway?
Yeah, you could actually. So this is like a second story, and there's actually a door up there as well, and you can actually get through there. And there's another door down like right here at the floor.
Are those stairs leading up to the second floor?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. Kiori would be interested in trying to see what is easiest for looking in, or if there's anything that has guards so we know what to avoid.
Yeah, so like I said, there's some windows here. You could climb up on these boxes potentially and take a look inside.
I'll go to do that. So I kind of jump on the box to lift up and hang on the edge of the windowsill and just look over the edge.
Yeah, so go ahead and move yourself over there. You're able to climb up easily. You see inside, and it just looks like a pretty dark, dusty, old. And in fact, over here to this other side, I'll reveal some of it for you. So I don't have the modular roofs on this one, but you guys can see about this much. So can you see that off to the right?
Yeah.
So that would be inside of this. Just think of that as
That's
the
right
inside
here.
part. Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you see, Kiori?
She would be stressing, and then she slowly lowers herself onto the boxes. I see just an empty space. I didn't notice anyone. It looks like it's been pretty abandoned for a while. Nothing much.
And
Alright.
I'm just revealing some of the parts you've already seen.
Yeah.
Well, then I say we, we make our way inside and not to make too much of a fuss about it. No one's home.
Cool.
Is the window open?
I'm sure at least one of them is broken enough that you could go through the window.
Toss me.
You'll have to toss me.
I got
Kiori. Oh, okay.
I'll toss him through the broken window.
And I'll try to do like a soft landing if I can, Luke.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead and make. I don't even think you really need to make a check here. You can easily kind of get inside. No check needed. And yeah, you're in there. You can go ahead and move yourself over to that revealed area.
Perfect.
And let me see if I need to reveal anything else for you here. Just move yourself over like in front. Yeah, that's fine. So you can see a little bit more when you're inside. You don't really have. Do you have dark vision actually? I mean, it's not like pitch black, but.
I do have dark vision.
What
Going
distance?
Yordles. I think it's 60. 60, yep.
Kiori would follow after Buxton goes to the window, then she would climb through too.
I'll just reveal it all. You can see basically everything in this area. Skip there a bit.
Deshaun whispered, "Do you see her?"
I'll pull out a piece of wire, and I say, "No, I don't." And as I cast message,
Oh, why? Yep. Cool. Yeah. So you don't really see anything. Sorry, I'm just revealing. There's multiple floors, so I'm just revealing some of the areas you've already seen. But yeah, you don't really see anything of note in here, yeah.
just looks pretty empty in here. Kiori and I are scoping it out, and you should feel safe coming in. And I guess I'd go. I guess there's a door right over here, right? I'll just kind of walk around, because it looks like there's two staircases down,
Correct.
and then there's an entrance here. I'll just kind of open up the front door and I say, come on in.
Cool.
On the way in, can I look at this drunken dude just to see, is he like watching us or is he like asleep?
He seems kind of off in his own world, kind of, just kind of, and maybe he's like humming something to himself.
Okay.
Completely ignoring you at this point. He's happy he got his brew. He got his money.
So what I'll do then is I'll just walk over to one of these barrels and I'll just take my hook and kind of like pry it open just to see what's inside.
Oh wow, the hook is an advantage. You don't even need crowbars. Yeah, so most of the barrels are kind of rotted out. They seem like maybe they haven't been used in a while, or they're just kind of empty. So the one that you open is just kind of rotting and empty.
Looks like they haven't been using this warehouse in a while. Perfect for camping out and doing secret things. We should be careful. And then I guess as I say that, I want to look. Are there any is there like a layer of dust, or is there does it look like there's any thoroughfares of people walking?
Yeah, absolutely. Make an investigation check.
All right. My best roll.
I would also like everyone to make a perception check.
Yeah, 3. Let's do it.
So Buxton, you realize that people have been walking here, and it's you.
All right, it looks like the only tracks I see are ours.
Kaori and Deshaun, you both hear a little bit of, I guess you would say something shuffling down in the basement. Just a little, shuffle, like somebody's rooting around in something, or maybe brushed up against something.
Are there any doors along this wall or anything?
Point at it again.
So like the west, northwest over here.
Yeah, so this area here is like a loading area with carts in it, and it actually goes outside in the back. And then there's like a way up in here that you didn't really explore.
As soon as Deshawn heard that shuffling, she would say, "Quiet." I heard shuffling down below.
Carrie would tense and follow, almost trying to like creep towards the floor and see if she can hear which direction the shuffling is gonna go.
Yeah, absolutely. So you keep listening, and every once in a while you're able to hear it again. It's really difficult to make out what it is. Okay, so you take a torch out and light it. That's great. Yeah, you can't really tell what it is, but every once in a while it sounds like maybe someone's rustling around in something or like shifting.
Cool. So Carrie would say, something is shifting below.
We check it out? Or do you think we should, well, here. And I kind of like, I guess, roll up my sleeves. And I guess, I don't know if Yordles do this, but I get on all fours to try and be more quiet. I'm like, I could take a look.
They do now.
And report back.
Great. So if you're gonna head below, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Yep.
And let me know how and where you're going.
Please be good. Please be good. Please be good. Please be good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
that's like your only good roll yet.
Yeah. So so these are the stairs going down, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I would just kind of like skedaddle, underneath Kiari's legs here, and just kind of like go downstairs and kind of take a peek around, kind of like making myself as low to the ground as possible.
Yep.
Taking advantage of my short stature.
Cool. So I've in the bottom left, I've revealed a little bit of the area down here. You can go ahead and put yourself on the stairs there.
Okay.
Deshaun would have slowly closed the door. Yep, makes sense.
And I see all these weird pegs.
Yeah, so
rocks?
these are like pillars holding up, like supports, holding up the floor above. And there seems to be, some old, crates and gear just like above.
Okay. I'll
And you can see
I guess
it goes farther this way, and then there's like a tunnel down this way.
Yeah, I guess continuing to be stealthy, I kind of move from pillar to pillar, and then try and just get just a scan in like either direction. And
Yep. As you round this corner, let me reveal a little more for you,
okay.
so that you can make your decisions from there. And let's measure this. How far can you see? Okay, you can see the whole basement with your dark vision.
Just like gray or whatever.
You see some friends.
Some friends, okay. Huh. Hey guys, how's it going?
You see
The old crew.
a wharf rat, or a razorfin, and a couple of wharf rats kind of rooting around through some of the different barrels. They don't seem to have noticed you as of yet. And so, you notice some of the barrels still have some goods within them that they're kind of rooting through.
Okay. What I'm gonna do then is look at them and go like, And I'm gonna think to myself, I should probably tell the rest of the group about this. And I kind of skedaddle and go up the stairs, and I tell them about it. I'm like, guys, there's some the shuffling I think we heard was the wharf. There's wharf rats in the basement. They're shuffling through some of the food down there. They seem to be preoccupied right now, but so we might be able to sneak past them. But we might have to, do some butchering or extermination.
There was another way down or through?
Yeah, there's a pathway to the north.
Okay.
That we go, as well as a pathway to the southeast.
And you would probably recognize the pathway to the north likely connects with the other stairway that you saw.
Oh, okay.
So should we go down the other stairs then to see if we can go past them?
Aye, that's not a bad idea.
It looks
That
like we
work?
can also go up, right? Over here.
Yeah,
Is that a
there's,
staircase up?
yeah. So there's also a staircase up in this corner up here to the north. I think that's the only way up.
Do you think we should split up then and divide and conquer?
If I were an orphan, where would I be? I think up.
All right.
I mean, I'm just gonna investigate upstairs. No one says anything.
I'll go with you. Yeah, if you're going upstairs. And see, Melbourne's good at this kind of stuff. You know, the best orphan tracker we've ever had.
Kiori would actually be interested in checking out just the remaining areas on this main floor. So she would kind of head north on the map to see what's around.
Sure. So I will take this opportunity to. So it sounds like Buxton in Melbourne are gonna head up to the second floor, and you're gonna finish looking around here.
Correct.
So let me go ahead and move Buxton and Melbourne first, and then we'll get to you.
Cool.
So Buxton and Melbourne, you head up
Aye.
to this next floor. You can go ahead and get up to the right there to the next section. And as you guys are headed up, I'll go ahead and let Kaori and Deshaun, where are you headed to?
I probably would say Deshaun would be kind of waiting on the bottom floor where the stairs are, just in case something is upstairs, so I can, either hear them or be close enough so that we can move ahead if needed. So I'll probably just be hanging around the staircase.
Makes sense. So Kaori,
Cool.
you take a quick look. You don't really find anything of interest other than continued barrels and crates. You're free to try to search them if you like. But nothing really here of interest.
Okay. I would probably not investigate unless I saw something specifically standing out. So just a quick once over. If there's nothing that looks out of place, I would walk over and check in with Deshaun.
Great. On the second floor, my brethren, you head up to the second floor. You get to the top of the staircase. And
DM, so just before you do that,
Yep.
Can I do with my Poro that Melbourne's got, can I do that thing that familiars can do that I can see through their eyes as well? Or is that not? I can't remember what the rules we said are.
Yeah, I think we decided to treat it basically just like a regular familiar. So you would be able to do that within whatever the range is. I think it's like a mile or something like that.
Yeah, I think.
Or 100
think
feet,
it's-
maybe.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it's 100 feet.
Okay. So much less than a mile.
So you would just see Deshaun's eyes go like black, and then she's kind of like she can't hear anything or around her, and I'm not seeing through Poro's eyes.
Warging.
I'm
And
sure this is normal.
yeah, you get to the, you guys while they're checking out downstairs. You get to the top here. There's the one hallway down to the right.
I'll be right behind you, Melbourne.
I'll go ahead and do wherever there's doors. I'll just show you one space so it's a little easier to tell.
Okay. There's lots of doors.
Oh, there's lots of doors. All right. Do you want to just go clockwise then, or counterclockwise, or sundial wise?
You would have clocks. You might even have a pocket watch.
Oh, yes, of course.
So do we start at 12?
Let's do it. Right to the north.
In Kaori and Deshaun, I assume you guys are headed up as they're checking out these rooms.
Yeah, I probably would snap out of it and then just say, Kaori, I think we should go and follow them since there's nothing down here.
Agreed. Let's continue. And
It's a
then
very
after seeing
Scooby Doo
that,
moment.
after seeing that Deshaun's like eyes have come back because Kiera hasn't asked very many questions about it, she's like, okay, and just like smiles and nods and follows her up the stairs.
And I should have told you that actually there's this on the bottom floor. There's a stairway up to the second level. That's my bad. So there was another way up.
Okay.
I'm just a bad DM in that regard.
No.
It's kind of hard to keep
Oh,
track of all
that's
these different
weird.
layers. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the other staircase?
It's like right down here. And it goes down to
Uh.
that big open room you were in before by the stairs to the basement.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Can Deshaun roll stealth? Just try and walk quietly instead of stumbling along.
Yeah, of course. And as you guys are looking around, you get up as Melbourne and Buxton are kind of checking out some of these rooms, not really finding anything interesting. I would have you rolling investigation though, as you're checking out these rooms.
Most intelligent pirate there's ever been.
Okay, well, I mean, it's enough that you're able to discern enough that it's obvious people have spent the night in these rooms. There's like some disturbed things, maybe a couple of areas where it looks like crates or whatever are set up as almost like makeshift beds, with maybe some stuffing piled on them or something of the sort. But you don't run into anyone now. And I'll go ahead and reveal a bit more. You said you were going basically like kind of clockwise around. And kind of that same thing for this whole area.
Can Deshaun investigate anything red hair, a little cap that she would wear, or the backpack that Obar said that she had?
Yeah.
Specific to her.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll investigation. You're looking for specifically for like strands of hair. You don't find anything of note in this area, unfortunately.
All right.
It's supposed to be really good at investigating, but nope.
You
it
plus
looks-
6.
It looks like there's been some people in here in the last couple nights. So maybe one of them is our red-haired orphan. We should keep a lookout. And I'm just gonna keep on going in the rooms. Do I see anything? By the way, just cursory. Anything like shiny or worth anything that I maybe could grab.
Yeah, no, unfortunately this place is pretty barren as it seems. Maybe it's been picked over. There's not really much other than just the refuse. And I'm
Not
gonna
a lot
go
of
ahead
good salvage.
and just kind of reveal the rest of this, assuming that you guys are kind of walking around. You do see another stairway up in this bottom corner area. So that'd be here. And it goes up to like a third level where the center is carved out like it is where you are now. And there's like a pulley system so that cargo could have been raised and lowered.
Okay.
So like a room up there?
Yeah,
To stand and
it's
see
similar to
that.
where you are now, just like another level up.
Yeah, it's like a freight elevator kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, he said to go up, Melbourne. Lead the way.
Yeah, I'll keep going up.
Cool.
I'll follow.
And we'll just go ahead and give you this one completely. And one more layer over, you're on the top level.
I see someone.
Okay. Look there?
Yep. So as you get up there, I would say that you spot in the far corner the small form of a small humanoid form, kind of curled up in the corner, not really moving.
Can I see if, like, when you say crawled up, like laying down or kind of like sitting in a fetal position?
No, like laying down. Could be sleeping.
Okay.
Captain, is that her?
Oh, hey there. I just shout. Oh, wait, she's sleeping, you said?
Yes.
Oh, then never mind. I won't stay away there.
or
I
at
say,
least like she's not moving and she's curled up in what could be a sleeping position.
Let's get a closer look, but not to startle her, but just to make sure she doesn't try to run off.
Yeah, I'm gonna go this way to the east, around that way.
And as you can see, there's like these little bridges across.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna be careful walking across the bridges, but I'm gonna walk across the bridge. And
And what is Kaori in Melbourne?
I think. I think I want to stand below. Wait, hold on. So this gap right here goes all the way to the first floor, right?
Correct. And the pulley system is like here in this area.
Okay.
I'll stand by the.
How tall are these boxes?
They're pretty high. They probably go about to the level of the second floor. So if you say a floor is like 10 feet, they're like 10 feet down maybe.
I think I would just like go down and stand like right here.
Okay, so you're
On the
just like
second
yeah,
floor,
you're
if
just
you
like
can
on the
see.
second floor already.
Yeah, in case she tries to run.
Smart. Kaori would creep along the far side of the room on the west side.
Gonna scare the shit out of this child.
Are there any windows in here?
Yes, there are. So on this wall, there's some windows. Buxton and Kaori, would you guys roll perception rolls for me as you approach?
I
Oh shit, I reckon. she's
Buxton,
scared. No, she's
buddy.
scared.
Buxton,
Oh,
everything
that's good.
seems great. Everything
It's
seems
hard.
fine.
It's hard to see after having Pappy's brew earlier.
Kaori, you as well. Everything seems fine. So, what is your plan here?
All right, guys. I think what I'll do is, in order not to startle her too much, I'm gonna, wake her up from afar. And I play quietly my little harmonica. Turn off that noise suppression so you can hear my beautiful.
Oh, I'm so ready.
And just like one tiny quiet note, and like a little hand appears.
Couldn't hear it.
I didn't hear it either, but
oh really? I
you'll
wonder
play
if
a
they
little
fixed
louder.
it.
Is it your noise gate?
Yeah. Oh wait. Okay, we heard it. We heard it.
All right, cool. But yeah, a little spectral hand appears, and kind of like hovers over, and then kind of like shakes gently.
Is this mage
child.
hand?
Caresses
Yes, it
her
is mage
face.
hand. Yeah.
Does it? What does the hand look like? Is it like a? Or a yordle hand?
Well, I imagine it like you ever play Super Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
Master
Like
hands.
the glove. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like what it is.
That's actually creepier. I'm gonna be honest, but.
Except it's always wet.
Oh,
All right.
this is
Yeah.
a soggy glove.
Yeah. So you do
Yeah.
that, and you shake her a little bit, and she starts kind of stirring, and she's like, and she like tries to brush it off, and then she like gets up and like sits up and starts looking around, and then spots you, and then just like goes like ghostly pale, like it like just completely still.
Like, hello there. My name's Buxton. Nice to meet you in this place.
She
We want to
starts
help you.
she starts like scanning the room and sees the three of you, kind of sizing you up. We lost Andrea. In any case, yeah. So she's just kind of sizing you up, scanning the room. Seems to be kind of like looking for exits, kind of thing.
Oh, and I'm gonna like hold out like two hands just to kind of show that I'm like not dangerous. Oh crap, I have a hook. I'm gonna hold out one hand and a hook, and just kind of like just to be like, oh, we're friends. We're friends. Good old
Kaori's trying to do
Buxton.
the same. It's like just
And I'm gonna do a little jig, and I'm gonna take out my harmonica and do a little,
Yeah.
like just to try and look less
So this is
immediately terrifying.
this is what she looks like. She just kind of sits up. You see her like kind of reaching for her backpack. She has a hat pulled down over, but you can see the red hair kind of poking out from underneath. And she says, "What are you doing in my house?"
Oh, sorry about that. We didn't mean to intrude. We knocked earlier, but nobody came down.
Well, What are you here for?
We heard you could help us, and we thought we could help you back.
How can you help me?
You know,
She takes kind of like a haughty stance, like not like hot, like haughty, H-A-U-G-H, yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. We maybe you could tell us how you'd like help. Otherwise, we've got coin. We're capable people. Of course, I'm sure we can find a way to reciprocate. We're reasonable people, of course.
Well, we all just looking to make our fortune, aren't we?
Aye, you could say that.
Well, what do you want from me?
Well, we heard. Let me try to put this delicately.
Does that lady have a tail?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? Try not to stare.
Deshaun would say, yeah, it's pretty neat. Miss Fortune really likes it too.
You know Captain Fortune.
Yeah, of course. That's why we're here. She wanted us to come check on you.
I don't believe you.
Oh shit.
We heard there was an explosion today, and we wanted to know if you knew anything about it.
I don't know nothing.
How is she saying that? How's she saying like I don't know nothing? Is she like
In a way where you could roll insight if you would like.
okay? Cool.
Actually, Buxton, you saw her. You don't even need to roll insight. This is the girl who put the package in the stall that exploded.
Oh, okay. It's like, well, you might not remember me, but I was right there in the crowd when you planted, that little present, let's say. And
are
now,
you working for the Noxians?
Never.
Of course not. Those Noxian bastards, they took me ship. And I look off into the distance.
Wistfully.
But we did run into a little bit of a conundrum after that. You see, the Noxians think we did it because we were standing right there. You see this, and I kind of show a couple singed whiskers.
Well, that sounds like a personal problem to me.
Aye, it's a personal problem, but perhaps you could help with the solution.
Well, what do you want?
We're just we're looking for information and perhaps a way to get in touch with the folks you're working with.
You want to be a soldier of fortune too. By the way, my accent is going between Cockney and Southern, but I'm going with it.
It works.
I feel you.
Yeah, Kairi would say, absolutely. We would do anything to stop Noxus.
I'm more of a contractor than really, allegiances aren't really my thing.
So Melbourne, while all this is going on, are you just kind of standing there in that area waiting?
Sentry mode.
Also,
yeah,
do you still have Thornback?
Yeah, I have phone back, I guess. Unless Deshaun would have taken your back, I'd probably still be holding you.
So Melbourne, as you're standing there, could you roll perception for me, please? The most used roll in all of D&D.
Yeah.
Melbourne, that's impressive, buddy.
Yeah, I got a 0 last time, so.
Even better. All right, great. Everything's great. Everything's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Back to the conversation. I guess I could maybe introduce you to Captain Fortune. She is always looking for people to join the cause. But you're not spies, are you?
No, we're just trying to get information and hopefully, have some leverage on the pushing in the other direction of people wanting to, capture us and blame us for something that we didn't cause. If we're gonna be blamed for it, might as well go all the way.
It's at this
Gather what I'm saying.
at this point that you begin to smell smoke. Just a little hint of smoke wafting up from below.
Kiori would call down to Melbourne, like, "Did you drop your torch, Melbourne?"
No, it's right here. Shaking
Okay.
it.
Do you guys smell that?
I smell smoke, and it's not from the torch.
Can I look at Annie and see her reaction to the smoke?
She's
like,
looking around,
please?
kind of panicked, and she actually runs over to the. I'm on the wrong layer. Here we go. I'm still on the wrong layer. How do layers work, Alex?
On the left, there's
Yeah,
like
I got it. She
Okay.
runs over to the window here and kind of looks out and just kind of like stands up and looks around at you and says, "Did you bring them here?"
Bring who here? We didn't bring anybody here, but catch me up a little bit, Annie.
She kind of just steps back. Says, "Look for yourself."
I like gulp a little bit and I like look outside.
Yeah,
Kind of like
and
peeking over it.
and due to our layer issue, you're gonna have to go all the way to the right, but you see a number of Noxians entering the area.
Oh,
Also, hold on.
that takes a ripple right out of Miguel's. I don't know if that's a pirate saying, but it sounds like it.
Good enough for me. Yeah,
How
so
many?
there's a number of Noxians in the street. It's hard to tell. You can see a number here. They're basically coming from every direction. And the smell and now the smoke of fire is starting to waft up from the lower floor.
Heavens to Majora, slowly walk up to Annie and say, "Annie, we promise that we did not bring them here. Can you help us escape?"
Well, you're gonna have to keep up. And she walks back to the window, pushes it open, and says, "All right, I'll take you to the captain, but you'll have to follow me." And hops out
Lead
onto
the
the
way.
roof.
So I'll say, go, you guys. I'll catch up with you, and I'm gonna go over to this freight elevator thing, and just lower it to Melbourne's level, and say, "All right, we're heading out.
And
Run this way."
Melbourne,
We're
we're
gonna make it
going.
faster.
On my way.
What is the freight system thing? Just like ropes?
Yeah, it's like a
on building.
pulley system. You could put your leg in it and kind of ride it up.
Yeah.
I want to do that thing where I put a weight on one end of the rope and I just cut it and
Cool.
flies them up or something. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's possible, but if it is,
You know what? It seems possible to me. So Melbourne, you come up very gracefully and quickly.
all right, we gotta follow the orphan. There's Noxians outside. I'm sure maybe you saw it a little bit, but let's get going. And I start jumping across the rooftops. I guess let's do it.
Sweet.
Kiori jumps out the window immediately after Annie goes and just starts keeping pace.
Yep, and let's go all the way over to back to the rooftop view for this one. And let's take our break there.
Cool. We found Annie, guys.
Good job.
Oh, I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she definitely was. She was very sus on you. She was like, "Oh hey, you you don't know Miss
Damn, no
Orphan."
deception.
That was
She's
a bold claim. Yeah, we're friends in Miss Fart just to check up on you, and I'm like,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
like,
Like she doesn't know.
yeah, I was gonna say.